Welcome back to another vlog. Excuse the appearance, but you're kind of catching me on a bad week because in England we are just starting a heat wave, which is not ideal. I feel like I've talked about this before. The construction of houses here were really not ready for global warming, and the heat here is so different than, like, if I said 85 degrees. Like back in Wisconsin, it's still obviously hot, but it's just such a different type of heat here, and the houses get so just disgusting, sticky, humid, and there's no really way to like get rid of that like sticky air. So we all just kind of suffer, and yeah, this week is meant to be terrible. Today is a high of 32 Celsius, which is probably like 90 degrees or so. It's 89 degrees Fahrenheit, and then tomorrow is 35, which is 95 degrees. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we are rocking with almost 97 degrees. And I suffer. I run really hot, especially when I'm sleeping anyway, but I feel extra terrible for Monty because he is, he's black, he's very fluffy, and normally, we go for a morning walk and then we go for a late afternoon walk, and then Murphy takes him out before bed. But I feel bad that I can't really like take him out at all like after the morning because it's just so hot, and like the pavement on his paws, I just feel really bad about it. So we'll be managing that, and Murphy's gone. He will be in a nice air-conditioned hotel, and I did consider going with him, but I get my HelloFresh delivered on Wednesday, and I don't obviously want that sitting out in the heat, and I couldn't cancel it. So we will just be here in the heat. And I just want to preface that if I'm now vlogging this week, we're going to ignore any upper lip sweat that occurs, okay? Because it's going to happen. I just like regulating body temperature inside is not really a thing. But anyway, something more exciting. I did place a Sephora order recently, and I thought I would do a little mini haul for you. So the first thing is a restock item, and it is the Rhode glazing milk. I just get the mini size because it's more convenient. I do love it, and it does make a difference. And I think I'm going to likely replace my hyaluronic acid with this. I need to do a little more research to make sure it has enough to like replace my hyaluronic acid. But the biggest thing with this is if you use it, especially in the morning before you're putting makeup on, it has made such a drastic difference in the application of makeup for me. Like around here where I usually get dry, I don't really get patchy when I'm putting any sort of like concealer on, and it just gives the most radiant glow to the skin. It looks like glass skin with your regular makeup on. It's just perfect. So I did repurchase that. That was a long way of saying it's amazing. You should try it if you haven't. And then also a restock, but like a new item as well, because this was on sale for 20 pounds, and the stick normally I think is like 22. It's the Huda Beauty. I have used this specific lip stain before. It's in Rosewood. It's one of my favorites. The only thing about it is you have to store it upside down, and it does kind of dry out easily, but I love the color so much that I just repurchased it. And in this duo, it came with this jelly oil, and it's a non-sticky lip gloss, and both are full size. So this one is in Pink Lady, and it smells really good. It smells like apples, and it just gives a nice little glisten. And it is non-sticky, which is huge. So if it's windy, it's not my hair's not sticking to my lips. And yeah, it's really nice, lightweight, and I have been loving that. And then another new product, and when I went to the Sephora opening, the guy that was helping me with color matching for the Merit Stick recommended this facial moisturizer by Sephora brand, and he said that he prefers this over Embryolisse, and I've been using Embryolisse for years now, and I really like it, but he says that he finds it gives like a little bit of a white cast and can be a little bit sticky. So to try this and see what I think, and obviously this is about half the price of Embryolisse, smaller packaging, but he said it's really hydrating, but it's not super thick, and I feel like it's a satin light cream. I feel like it's going to be a mix between the Embryolisse and my Biossance moisturizer, which I'm about to run out of. So yeah, I am curious. It feels really nice. It is very satiny. It's got a really light scent, like not that I think would be irritating, but it's also a barrier booster, which is always good. It's for normal to dry skin and even sensitive skin. So I will try this and I'll report back, but I also got this same line, the facial mask, when we were in Greece, and I've been liking that as well. So that's my little Sephora haul. Now I need to do some work, and I have tennis today, which is gonna be roasty toasty, but I'm excited. My coach was away for a while, so I'm getting back into it. Other things on the docket this week are staying cool, keeping Monty cool. We'll play with the hose potentially. Meal prep, work, read, which I'm reading a really exciting book right now. It's called The Flame in the Frost. It's an arc. It comes out on June 30th. It's a Norse-inspired dark fantasy, and so far I'm really engaged in it. It's good. I haven't gotten into like any action, but I'm really curious on where this storyline will go. So I'll update you on that and let you know my thoughts and if I recommend it. But again, welcome back to the vlog and welcome to the heat wave. Right. I am just about to go sit outside for my lunch break to just try to enjoy some of the sun, because Lord knows we rarely do get it. So I've just applied some sunscreen, and I was going to put in a hair mask because I need to wash my hair today, which is really unfortunate because that means I have to blow dry it, and in this heat it's not ideal. Now I think normally you're supposed to get your hair wet before you put this in, but I can't be bothered to do that at the moment, so I'm just gonna put it in my ends mostly. This is the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair mask. I just have like a travel size, so I'm just gonna put mostly through my ends, and then I'll just put a little bit, wrap it in a bun, and then go sit outside and read. I can't remember if I said I was reading Girl on Girl, which is like, it's sort of evaluating how pop culture moments, like starting from primarily the 80s is when a lot of the references are from, kind of impacted the kind of how women are today and how we kind of think and act and feel as if we're supposed to like portray ourselves a certain way, basically. And it's very interesting, but it feels like I'm reading like an academic paper, which I feel like has its own merit, but I think for like who they were writing it for, I feel like it didn't need to be so academically written. And I will say the amount of times that I've read the word aughts, which refers to a time period, you could honestly make a drinking game out of it. It's kind of crazy, so a little overused, but it is interesting. Like there's still a lot of takeaways. It's just a little more involved than I was kind of expecting it to be, but I'm more curious to see when we get more to kind of the current time period and how all of the examples she's now explained now kind of transcend to today. So anyway, I'm gonna sit outside. I got the dogs a pool yesterday. Here's the pool. And of course, I had Henry here. And of course, neither of them wanted to go in it. I have forced Monty into it today and yesterday because he just gets so hot that it's necessary. And Henry, who is actually the swimmer of the two, refused. He would not go in it. So, you know, it was a big loss for me. But you know what? I put my feet in there. It was quite nice. So anyway, okay, I'm off to read for like 30 minutes or until I can not stand the heat anymore, basically. Right, the workday is done. I have showered. The hair is feeling good. I did not blow dry my hair. I just went for a little walk to the shop to grab some things, and it is fully dry. So that's how hot it is. I did treat myself to some Ben & Jerry's. I honestly haven't had Ben & Jerry's in ages, mainly because in the Netherlands it was like stupid expensive. Not to say it's not I just dropped my lime. Got that, and Monty has a frozen treat waiting for me as well. I just do frozen yogurt with some berries, and that's one of my pro tips when it's this hot at night after we go outside again. I give that to him, and it has him engaged for quite a while, and also it just cools him down. I also got myself a little CBD drink. This, I don't know if I've had this one, passion fruit and pomelo. And now it's time to make some dinner. And listen, I would love nothing more than to have something cold, but I just cooked this chicken and some refried black beans this morning. Just need to eat what I have, basically. So I made some chicken shredded with taco seasoning and refried black beans, and I'm gonna make a little burrito bowl and have that with some chips, and then I'm gonna settle in and finish my episode of the House of the Dragon, which, as you're seeing this, only one episode has come out, and I started it yesterday, but then I was just exhausted from my workout, walking in the heat, and tennis. My god, tennis was absolutely brutal in that heat. I was really, really dying. But I will finish that. So far so good. I kind of wish that I rewatched at least like the last episode. Like I remember the big battle that happened at the end, but it's just so long in between. I feel like I should have done a rewatch, but there's just so many things to watch. So probably do that, and then maybe get into the McBee Dynasty, which if you haven't watched that and you need just like a absolutely turn your brain off crazy dynamic reality show, it's quite the ride, guys. But anyway, I'm gonna make some dinner and I'll check back in a bit. Good morning, guys. Last night was rough. It was so hot in the bedroom. It was just like unbelievably thick heat that just couldn't be controlled. So I actually slept on the couch last night. Mainly for Monty because he won't sleep downstairs unless I'm down there. So I tried to like lay him down on the couch and went to bed, but he came back upstairs and he was really struggling. So we had a little slumber party in the living room, and I like have a really hard time sleeping on couches, so it took me ages to fall asleep. So I was up quite late, so it's a slow morning, and today's gonna be no better. And fortunately and unfortunately, Murphy's coming back tonight, so I might have to move one of our mattresses from the like day bed downstairs, and we all sleep down there because there's just no cooling the room down, especially when it's still like 28 degrees at like 10 p.m. So that might be our solution. And then tomorrow is going to be even hotter, like 97 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not nice. But anywho, this morning is going to be a slower morning. And today is a rest day for me, and boy, do I need it. I can tell my body has a lot of like fluid retention just from a lot of working out and not a lot of rest and the heat, and I need to drink more water. It's a whole thing. I'm trying to like listen to my body as best as I can. So today is going to be, just walking, and maybe I'll do like a little yoga, which will essentially be hot yoga at this point. But yeah, I'm going to go get a coffee, an iced coffee, because I feel like I need it, and potentially some eye patches when I get home. So here we are for another hot, hot day in paradise. Hello again. It's been a few days. basically that heat wave wiped me out, and I will try not to talk about it too much anymore, but yeah, it was a steamy few days, and we went for a nice cycle ride on Sunday, my longest, 57 kilometers, which is like 35 miles. So getting back into it, and I actually just got some new bib shorts, which I'm debuting on Friday for a morning cycle. But very low-key weekend. Now we're amidst the week again, and I actually just got a grocery delivery. So I need to unpack that. And I've just been catching up on Love Island UK because I got really behind, and honestly I was just kind of like bored of watching it. It becomes a lot, you know, it's like every day almost with like a day off Saturday, but just catching up on that now while I'm gonna put these groceries away and then start prepping dinner for later, which is shrimp tacos. And I think Murphy's going to his cycle tonight, which is Hills and Pills. Pills for Pilsner. They stop at the pub after. And I'm going to Pilates, so we'll both be home kind of late, and I already know I'm not going to want to cook by the time I get home. So I will say that I'm trying, normally I get M&S is like the only place that has a pre-shredded slaw mix, which is kind of annoying because it's so common to get in the States, just the prepackaged, and then you add whatever, like mayo and stuff after, and they haven't had it in a while. So a couple weeks ago I tried making my own by cutting it, but it just, like, the cabbage doesn't shred the same. I don't know what it is. It's too thick and it's just not as nice to eat. So today I'm gonna attempt to use the food processor. I think there's like a shredding element, so I'm gonna attempt that with some cabbage and carrots for the slaw mix and hope that that does a better job. But I don't want it like pulsed, like really small. I want it like, you know, a normal slaw, so we shall see. But my assumption here is to use this thing. I've never used this attachment. I always use this. So this will be interesting. Let's start with the cabbage first, and then I will do the carrots because that seems easy. Okay, finished product. I will say that was incredibly effective, but it's still just not the consistency that I want. Like, it's just a bit too done. I mean, it's gonna be tasty, but like, I like the stringiness, but if you just cut the cabbage, it's too thick, even when I like cut it at the right angle. But this was still probably the best option, but I hate cleaning the food processor. I now have so much coleslaw, I don't even need this much. So, hello guys. I thought I would do a little like chatty, let's catch up while I am marinating some chicken. I'm preparing, it's like a turmeric lime chicken marinade, and then we will grill it. And I will probably have it with like rice and sweet potatoes, or maybe like as a flatbread or something. That sounds quite tasty. But I wanted to say that one, I have been watching Wimbledon, which is very exciting. I feel like I do love sport. I like going to live events more, but I think now having like played tennis and like understanding like the difficulty of it and knowing just like how to play in general, like it makes me be able to appreciate watching it more, and it's been really fun getting to watch and understand. So that has been really taking up a lot of my time. It's actually so easy to get locked in on that, and like a lot of these matches have just been really close, and that makes it really exciting to watch. So I will be continuing to watch that, but I will say it's really been taking away from my reading. which is fine. You know, it is what it is, and I'm not mad about it. But on the reading scale right now, I just finished a really good book. It's called Daggermouth. It is a dystopian novel, and one thing you probably don't know about me, unless you grew up with me, is that I used to be a big reader, like when I was young, and dystopian, especially in middle and high school, was like the genre I was reading for the most part. And I feel like it was big then, and then it kind of, I don't know, not as many books were being written or like talked about perhaps. And I just like, I mean, I had a lull in my reading throughout college and stuff. But anyway, this has really brought back my love for dystopian novels, and I'm going to be looking into some more options for like what's out there. And I'm really excited about that. So if anyone happens to have read some other dystopian novels recently and have some recommendations, I would love that. And if you have never read or do have liked dystopian before, I definitely recommend Daggermouth. It was very good. It is a very dark book, as are, I feel like, there's a lot of killing and like brutality to it, but it's a high stakes book, and it's really good. Also, I have mentioned I've been getting more into cycling this year. We did do cycling last year, but I feel like we're upping the notch a little. We're increasing the distance, hopefully more frequent cycles, and I got those new bib shorts and I tried them out today, and I really like them. They're, first of all, most cycling shorts are quite long, especially for a short gal like me, so it took a while to find appropriate length ones, but it really makes such a difference for the ride, and especially when they fit right, because last Sunday I wore Murphy's cycling shorts, and they were just like a bit too big, and yeah, it was not super pleasant by the end. But so this morning they have Newtown Park is a cycling club here, and it's just like a community of cyclers. Oh my god. And they do these social rides on Friday mornings at like 6:30. And so we did that this morning, and it was really, really amazing. First of all, the weather is like perfect at that time, so it's nice. And then, you know, you've gotten a lot done by the time you start work, and that is also wonderful. We love that. Excuse me. And yeah, it was just all around great. My chain did fall off at one point, but Murphy came back and helped me fix that, which was nice of him. But otherwise, you know, it was all good. And then you stop at a coffee shop after, and you all get a coffee and a pastry if you want, and then you make your merry way home. And it was just really nice. I love things like that. Like it's one of the things I think about when we consider, you know, when we may move back to the States, and the community thing here, like, I'm not saying that doesn't exist in the States. I think it does, especially if you live closer to like a bigger city. But if you didn't want to live in a big city, like, what are we doing? Like, is this a thing really? Like, all of these social clubs? Or how do people meet friends, I guess, like, if you don't have kids, you know what I mean? It's definitely one of the things that I missed about the UK, Bristol specifically. When we were living in the Netherlands, there's just so many more opportunities, I feel like, to meet people that are like-minded or like do certain things depending on what your interests are. And that's one thing I feel as an adult is really hard. It's hard to find friends that aren't like in your workspace, because, you know, we don't have the social clubs that like you did in college and like high school and stuff, where it was easy to meet friends. But it's like one of the things that's very much always top of mind when we talk about potentially like moving back to the States. And I mean, you know, having community and people around you is important, but at the same time, like, yes, I could move home, like to my hometown. I don't want to. Um, but that would be the easy out, but I would like to live elsewhere. And so that is a forefront consideration. Like giving stuff like this up, it feels sort of scary, I guess. But anyway, yeah, it's a lovely, really, start to the weekend, even though this was all before the work day. But what's on the agenda this weekend? Tomorrow I'm going to Pilates with a friend, and then brunch after. And Sunday we have tennis in the afternoon, and we will hit the social club after to have a pint or something and chill outside if it's nice. So chill weekend, nothing like really pressing, which is kind of nice. I feel like I need a chill weekend this weekend anyway. Last weekend was a little bit like full on, but yeah, I'm looking forward. Maybe starting a new book, watch some tennis, be horizontal for a little bit, go for a walk. It's gonna be a little warm again next week, so you know, I'm gonna soak up this slightly cooler weather while I can, really. But anywho, yeah, I just wanted to like have a little rant about like just like things and such. But yeah, anywho, I'm gonna finish making this chicken, and the slaw, by the way, solid, spot on. I still need to sort out. I think a mandolin is the best option to get it like how I want it, but I don't really need another, like I don't want another thing in kitchen tools. Are so like there's so many things, you know. I could ramble for ages, so I will leave it there, and I am going to end this vlog here, and I will see you in another one soon. Sorry it's been a little all over the place, such is life, but I will see you in the next one very soon.